I'm officially done with him. No, I'm serious. Like I agree. We've been pretty fair. I've been given the benefit of the doubt time and time again. That Sharon Govich and Anderson selection in the shootout in the biggest fucking game in the of the season against the Canucks is my final straw, dude. I'm done. I don't even think this team's young core can even really benefit under a coach like this. If you can't figure, and I mean, there's lots of arguments I saw online. Oh, you got to go with the statistics. Kadri's this, and this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. And Anderson's this. Anderson has done fuck all in 3 months. Kadri's the only guy that's been clutch all season long. He scores he undresses the exact same goalie early on in the fucking game. The guy's got juice. The guy's got jam. He's got it. Like, I don't care if Kadri doesn't score. You have to put him in the shootout. He's been your guy all season long. I think you were saying this. You ride or die with him in the shootout. If he doesn't score, it doesn't matter. At least you give him a shot. At least your guy was in there, and then.
Well, that was the Nick Ritchie saga. That was why everybody was so pissed, because it was Nick Ritchie, and he's like.
But at the end of the day,
terrible.
I think,
but the rationale from the coach after the game we heard is that, well, Ritchie had scored on Saros in a shootout previously. His shootout record was this. It was more of a like playing percentages things. And, I understand that.
That was an control job.
Yeah, it was just Daryl like saying F you to Brad in my opinion. Because Daryl, he's like the ultimate troll. But that's the thing in the shootout is you galaxy brain it a lot of the time, right? And we suck in shootouts unless Costco's around. But that's how you end up with like, oh, we're going to pick Anderson in the shootout again because like he scored that one time. Or Sharon Govich is actually the highest percentage shooter. You come with all these rationalizations. And I think ultimately when it's those big moments, like you said, Kadri's been the only guy who's been clutch. If you're Nazem Kadri, you sure as shit, even if you haven't been great in the shootout as of late or as a Flame in general, you sure as shit, right? If you're Kadri, you're like, yeah, I'm shooting, right? And that was the same thing with the Ritchie thing. It's like Toffoli wasn't in that shootout. He's your best goal scorer all year. He should have been the guy. Similarly with Kadri. Well, it's like that's just a call from a coach that's just like, bro, like, come on.
I don't give a guy there. I don't give a fuck about statistics because those type of stats, your shooting percentage have nothing in that statistic will tell you when the player scored in a clutch situation or not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the ultimate example. Wayne Gretzky was at Nagano, not picked to pick in the shootout.
100%.
You lose.
They pick Ray Bourque and like Shanahan or whatever because like, oh, Gretzky's not good on breakaways or something stupid. It's like, what are you doing? You got fucking Wayne on the bench. Are you kidding me?
The most clutch, top 5 most clutch athletes of all time. Don't put him in the shootout. It just reminds me of that. And sure, whatever, rattle off any fucking stupid statistic you want that does not take consideration timing of the game, size of the outcome, the amount of clutch or non-clutch it was. If you ask, like Wayne is quoted afterwards saying, his pushback on that whole entire freaking narrative is that, yeah, we'll go back and see my shootout record when the game is actually on the line.
Well, dude, and Nas had already undressed Lankinen, right, in the game already on a breakaway. Like, absolutely put his jock in the stance. So it was like, that's another aspect to like when you're selecting shooters is like have a good pulse on who's having a good game, right?
Dude, I'm sick of this.
Just a really bad decision.
I'm sick of this career metrics. Yeah. Then people are like, oh, Kadri's 2 for whatever. Well, then he's fucking due. He's fucking due. He's got the hot hand. He's been a clutch guy all season long. You put Sharon Govich in there.
Well, and he's cold too.
Has he had a clutch goal all season long?
Does it put Sharon Govich in a good position either, right? Or even who else? Rasmus, like the 2 coldest guys on the entire team, maybe other than Coleman up till that point, right? Oh, you're gonna put him in the shootout. Like, that doesn't help them out, really, does it? It just puts all the pressure on Jaeger, who's already struggling. You can tell he's struggling mentally, right? Like, his confidence is wavering for sure. And then it's like, okay, let's put you in the most pressure-packed situation where a lot of guys aren't built for that. Kadri's a guy who's built for that, and He's sitting on the bench and he costs you a point. So I don't think that was a great decision.
No, not at all. It just reminds me of, what was it, 2 seasons ago? The Blue Jays, they make it into the wild card game. Jose Barrios is playing his former team, and he is fucking having a hell of a game. And then they pull him because of some fucking stupid analytic statistic bullshit, and they lose the game. Like, have a fuck. Where's your, like, put the fucking notebook down. What have you been watching all game? What have you been watching all season? Go with your gut. Go with the hot hand. Like, it's not rocket science, man.
It's really, and again, like
you can debate all you want, but I will never take some sort of left-brained approach to, it's the fabric of the game again.
Yeah.
It's the whole fabric of the game. Have your fucking finger on the pulse and read the room.
Like I said, we've been fair to Huska, and I'm not like, oh, fire the guy, but now that we're in a point, I just think we talk about it because he's getting some of the too much of the credit that is like, yeah, it's just Wolf, right? We've talked about, yes, he's got them working their butts off for sure. Yes, they're higher in the standings than anybody expected them to be, but ultimately that's mostly because of Wolf. And now that Wolf has put you in a position where, hey, holy shit, we could make the playoffs. Now some of these decisions and maybe some of these moves and maybe some of these coaching tactics are kind of like being made more evident because a lot more is on the line, right?
Yep.
Like, what the fuck happened in that Vancouver game? Why are we getting absolutely shit canned? What, were shot 16-1 in the third period at one point against a team who played last night? Their goaltenders played 2 games in a row. They're insanely depleted. They're broken emotion. They're broken mentally. They're broken physically. Why? How are we not locking this down against this team? And how do we lose that game in the shootout? And I was like, well, this is some coaching decisions, right?
100%. Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, man. And then, the next game, some of the lineup decisions, which I know a lot of people have been annoyed with all season, but I think most people are just kind of picking up on the way the Flames play. They play too passive. Obviously, whatever they're doing doesn't lend itself to scoring many goals. It's obviously not working great defensively. I realize his personnel is limited, but at the same time, some of these coaching moves are costing you some points.
Well, that's why you have even less room for error when it comes to
exactly. You don't have any room for error right now.
No, you can't be putting Sharangovich Anderson in your
you
shootout.
can't be.
Exactly. Biggest game of the season. Remember when we had
you can't be putting Mir Manov in against the Colorado Avalanche for Brady Pahal, and then he's fucking standing there with his thumb up his ass while Buddy absolutely rips by him on a breakaway and scores.
I don't even know if we mentioned Cairns on the last episode or not. Why would you have Hunton over Cairns? The guy comes in, he has 4 points in 5 games, and we never ever speak his name ever again. Just banished to the
banned. You're banned.
Fuck. It's unbelievable. Remember when we had Versteeg on and we were talking about that Stanley Cup team in Quenneville? And he was like, one thing Quenneville was awesome at was in the fabric of the game, always kind of having a guess at who's going to perform, who's going to be the big game performer, and giving those guys the opportunities. And then sure enough, remember that?
Yeah.
So you get the opposite right now.
That third period in Vancouver,
yeah,
the guys didn't play great, but that's on the coach. And I know Flash from Flames Nation was posting some score effect metrics from HockeyViz on Twitter saying, like, when the Flames get to 3 goals and in the third period, like, they pretty much stop playing, right? They don't push.
Yep.
And this is something Huska's talked about a lot, which I think has been a problem.
Just try and sit back and protect the lead.
Yeah, exactly. And I've heard him say this on a few multiple interviews where it's like, we shouldn't need to score more than 3 to win. If we score 3, we're good. It's like, bro, what?
Yeah. And that seems to be his coaching strategy. It's not even a happenstance thing where the Flames just,
well, it's just passive, man.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we're just gonna protect now. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat-trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly.
Did you hear Kevin Woodley of In Goal Magazine was on a radio show in Edmonton? And dude, hey, listen, do you want to get ahead of the conversation that happens like 3-4 months later when it comes to the Calgary Flames? Listen to this show, because what do you think is starting to circulate in all of the circles right now? It's like, whoa, Dustin Wolf shouldn't just be getting consideration for the Calder. He should be in the Vezina conversation. Anywhere you go now, that's what people are saying. And it's like, well, yeah.
He should be in the Hart conversation.
Right? Even the Steve Dangle guys, the SDPN guys are like, well, this guy's so good, he should be in the MVP conversation. But Woodley was on with some guys in Edmonton dropping some numbers because he is associated with Clearsight Analytics, which is a private company, but they do release some data, and it's super methodical, very thorough, probably some of the most cutting edge data in the entire league that's collected. Yep. But Dustin Wolf still, at this moment in time, is number 2 in their goals against differential model. Number 2, here's the top 5. They usually publish the top 5 and bottom 5 in different metrics. Everything else is like private. Top 5 goalies in the league, Clearsight Analytics, CSAHockey.com. Logan Thompson, number 1. Dustin Wolf, number 2. Yegor Shesterkin, 3. Connor Hellebuck, 4. Darcy Kemper, 5. Dustin Wolf, 2. Number 2.
Who's 1?
Logan Thompson in Washington.
Wow.
Good Calgary boy. Calgary fucking owns the goaltending market right now, dude. But it's just crazy.
Frank Seravalli is saying.
Frank's saying get Wolf in this Vezina conversation too. So it's pretty crazy. It's not just us, because, you know, when we put these videos out there, like, Wolf should be Calder winners. You should be the best.
40 games ago.
Yeah, that's true. We're just ahead of the curve, man. We're not right. We're just not right yet.
Taking all the
shit.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot.
You guys are stupid. Wolf hasn't done that. He's not been that.
Okay, well, lunch. Look.
The most meticulous and thorough and greatest, maybe the one of the biggest analytics firms in the entire hockey world has him ranked number 2. So
we can just see the trend. If it's in regards to the Calgary Flames, we can see the trends before they hit.
So that was pretty cool. And yeah, he's not going to get any Vezina votes. He's probably going to get hosed out of the Calder because these stupid hockey writers vote. And they if it's hey, I saw Gold getting into this. Flames Nation, Mike Gold getting into this. Some fans saying, like, if it comes down to between Hudson and Wolf, we know what ways the voters have gone in the past, right? Screwing Jerome McGinley out of a Hart Trophy, right?
Absolutely.
The story goes that some Montreal writer left Jerome McGinley off the Hart ballot completely, costing him the MVP. Jose Theodore won it. Complete sham. Iggy should have won that year. So I know we're in for some hijinks when it comes to Wolf, but who cares? He's going to use it as fuel. We all know where he should be. We all know we've got the best goaltender in the entire. He's going to, dude, this is the guy. We've got the guy. So as sad as I am, as tired as I am of the season, that's the other thing. It's hard, though, I guess, because you keep having to remind yourself, like, we're witnessing something really cool here with Dustin Wolf, but it's also a really long season.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And, of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.